Hi everybody, I wanted to do a video for bonding and unbonding for node operators as well as bond providers. So in this video, I'm going to be walking through the process within Asgardex because it's quite simple. And then after that, showing you how to manage your node within Asgardex and then having a look at some of the tools and documentation around for node operators so they would know what they need a bond, when they need a bond, and when the next churn is, and those type of things. So here it is. I've downloaded the latest Asgardex release from the website here. You can also download it from GitHub itself. And if you have any issues, questions and stuff, you can create a new issue here or just put it inside of Discord, the dev Discord Asgardex channel. So here we have, I've unlocked my wallet. Within the settings, I've got a ledger added here, and that's simply like unlock your ledger, then press add ledger for THORChain, and then boom, there it'll be. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to do this from Ledger because why not? It doesn't really matter. It's the same thing, different wallet. So here I have the bond page, and let's pretend I'm a node operator and I've just built my node and it's fully synced. So just grabbing a random address. Hey, why not? Let's grab this one. It doesn't actually matter. Then I can grab my node address here, which makes status will give it to you. And then put that in, put the amount of bond. For first joining, I need to send at least one rune, and then click bond. And then you click next, go through the signing process for your ledger, and then it'll get sent. Once that's done, you can add the appropriate amount of bond. This is all through the joining part here. And you can add your whatever amount of bond you're gonna need. Also, as a node operator, you want to whitelist your bond providers. So the bond provider will add RUNE, and that'll add to your total bonded, and they'll give you an address for that. So you need to whitelist that before they can add the bond as a bond provider. Now you can do that just by getting an address. Say this is the bond provider that gave you, actually probably this one, the bond provider that gave you their address. To whitelist them, you would go ahead, put the address in. You can set your fee, which I think you would need to if this is the first one. That's the node operator fee here. You put in a percentage and it'll convert that to basis points, and then it constructs the memo for you, which goes into the message deposit. So you go ahead and do that. It's going to add an amount just to ensure it gets through, because a part of the validation, you can't have 0 RUNE sent in a bond message. So as a node operator, they're the steps you needed to add or to whitelist your own new node, to bond to the node, or to whitelist a bond provider. As a bond provider, you would unclick that. You would put in the node address here, and like from your wallet, from the whitelist wallet that you've got, you'd need to have that within Asgardex, and then you can send the amount, whatever amount you're going to send that you've agreed to, whatever they've agreed to, you just whack that in there, and then that'll be added here, and you can verify that within this endpoint, and your node operator should give you that. Right, so that's bonding here, adding to the bond. As a node operator, to unbond, you can just put your address in here, and then that'll allow you to unbond, and you put in the amount. So, sorry, you need to be in the standby state and not part of a migrating vault. Asgardex will check that for you, else your transaction will fail, because Thor node won't allow you to do that. So that's how you unbond. Just wait until you're in the standby state and you're not part of a churn. Now, if you wanted to remove this bond provider for whatever reason, actually be this one, then you would go ahead and you would put this address in. The reason why I say that is the node operator address is generally the first bond provider here, and they control the node. So when you're sending these sort of like adding whitelisting, it has to be from this node operator address, and when you're removing, it has to be from this node operator address here as well, and that's why I can't really use that as an example. So you would be removing a whitelisted bond provider here, and that's how you'll go ahead and do that. Also, you want to keep them happy. You wouldn't want to necessarily do that too often. However, that's the process, and it creates the memo here. As a bond provider, when it's in the standby state and you wanted to unbond, you would just, as you know, making sure you say owned this address, and this address was part of the wallet that you're using, you would just put in the node address here and just do unbond. So sort of the same thing there. You just don't need the bond provider address. Also within Asgardex, there's the leave request. So if you're a Again, if you're the node operator address, from the node operator address, you can do a leave, as well as a custom memo. So for something that you want to do that's not supported, you can do a custom one. Just whack the memo here in here and then put the amount. And there's documentation on all the memos here. This is bond, unbond, and leave. And then here's all the managing the pooled Thor nodes or the bond providers. So you can look at all the documentation there. Now within Asgardex, once you've set up all this type of stuff, you can go ahead, I'm just going to copy this again, and manage. If you go to bonds, you can put in this and click here, and it's going to tell you the information. So it's going to tell you your nodes, give you the relevant information, a link to RuneScan, as well as the bond providers and what they're doing here as well. And you can do that for active. So just looking at THORChain.network, which is a really good site, you can whack that in here. And then it just gives you a way to view stuff, view what's going on. That's the top one I added. Yeah, it just shows you what's going on. If you were to own one of these addresses, like the node operator address or a bond provider address here, it would let you bond. And if you're in the standby state, it would let you unbond as well. So that's pretty cool. But obviously I don't own any of these addresses, so it's not allowing me to do that. So Asgardex does have a look at the status of what's going on to ensure you're not sending bad transactions or transactions that will fail specifically. So that's within Asgardex. You can have a look at all the nodes here. The ones in this reddish color are due to churn out. And if you go along here, the ones in the green are due to churn in. It's usually 3 out, 5 in. And this will tell you what your competition is. As a bond provider, you want to get at least 300 to try and get in, or beat this person to try and get in to the next churn. And you probably need around this to stay in. Within this, the joining is bonding the right amount to get these metrics, which you can just get from the network endpoint here. Or this really good website provides you, this is THORChain.net nodes, it gives you all that information here. So that just helps you calculate what bonds you need. Would you need more bond providers or whatnot in order to ensure you're going to get into the next churn in, and then tell you when the next churn is going to be as well. So that's pretty important. So that's the video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, click the thumbs up, subscribe to see more content like this. If you want to see other videos or walkthroughs, let me know in the comment section below. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.